Okie dokie. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick, and we are once again continuing our adventure through some early gameplay footage of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Once again, this was captured at a Ubisoft San Francisco event that I attended over the weekend, and we're pretty much picking up exactly where we left off. The overall goal of this demo is to acquire a key to open a door to the final boss of the demo. So we have to infiltrate this kind of Amazon Huntress Fortress right away to kind of progress through. So one thing that I mentioned in the previous episode, as you can see right here, this game is really geared towards abilities. So if you guys played Assassin's Creed Origins at all, you guys will know that the Predator Bow was a fairly OP weapon in terms of being able just to one-shot people from a very far distance, especially when you add like the slow bullet time effect that you can slow down the arrow and kind of guide the arrow. In this game, they've made it less overpowered by tying it to an ability that uses direct points, as you guys can see right there. And yeah, it just makes things a little bit harder, so you can't lean on specific weapons and abilities as much as you could. You kind of have to like mix it up. In this area, I decided that I was gonna try to approach it in a variety of different ways. We have the stealth approach, which I'm gonna try to attempt right here, and due to the purposes of time, I couldn't reset to try to do a perfect stealth run just because there isn't enough. Wow, I just punched her right into her lady junk. There wasn't enough time to do that perfect, absolutely stealthy run. Another ability I think you guys saw at the end of the last episode, I actually meant to put it at the beginning of this episode, but it was kind of like the Minato Hokage transport, like you throw the weapon and you instantly teleport to the enemy for an instant kill. That's a really cool ability as well. So the objective of this fort, as in previous forts, kill the three main guys, or kill the main guys with the gold labels above their head, and pillage and raid all the loot stashes. So in this specific stage, the key is located in one of three caves, one of three different caves. So, and it's not going to do the video game trope of it'll always be in the third cave. It actually it's set in a specific cave for the purposes of the game. So if you guess right the first time, then you'll be in luck. If you guess wrong, then you keep trying. So as you can see right here, all things go to shit in terms of this stealth. So I thought it'd be a good time to just kind of still play around with the different abilities. Once again, you build up the gold bar as you do in previous games by attacking, dodging in combat and stuff like that. You can actually, there is actually a constantly passive ability that if you do a perfect dodge at the right time, the enemies will automatically slow around you. It's kind of like a reward for just dodging correctly at good moments. So I don't know if I execute it well in this game, but you can still always rely on the parry ability. The parry ability was actually fairly useful, especially in this demo where I didn't have a shield. And the window for you to actually pull off the parry is fairly large. I think I said that in the previous video, so it's not as difficult as it was in previous games. Once again, as you can see right there, like I said last time, you don't automatically heal anymore in combat. You actually have to use their ability to heal, so that keeps things a little bit more engaging, a little bit more difficult. Keeps you kind of on the edge of your seat a bit, just so you can't game the mechanics anymore as you can in previous games, and if you can pull off some sweet kill cams like that as well. And when in doubt, just shoot him in the head at a distance with an arrow if you have the ability to. So I really do enjoy the combat system in Origins, and especially this game. It's still not as clean and as well executed as you would say like a Dark Souls game. It's not anywhere near that type of level, but it's still fairly intuitive and responsive, so much better than it has been in previous games. So I do enjoy, especially with all these new abilities, kind of just like mixing things around. Also, they don't take things too seriously as well. You guys saw a little bit earlier that huge AoE ability that I had that kind of sends people, or the groups of people, flying back. This game doesn't take itself in terms of the combat too seriously, especially when we get to the final boss. You kind of see an example of what I mean. We're literally fighting a mythical creature that's not supposed to exist. So, well, from Greek mythology, anyways. So I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say with my impressions of the latest build of this game. Once again, I did get to play it a little bit earlier this year at E3, and overall, I'm excited for this game. In terms of like a preempt, ooh, that was a sexy. I'm just impressed myself a little bit there. So in terms of like what I expect of this game, I've said it before in my E3 preview videos that I'm excited to jump back in the world again, but I do recognize a lot of the assets all the way down to the skill tree, the main menu, the HUD. It looks very similar to what Origins did, so it's not going to have that wow appeal, because Origins was probably one of the bigger steps in the franchise in some time. So it's not going to have that giant leap, and I don't think you can really expect to within a year's time. But I still think that they've introduced enough new things and changed some of the core stuff, such as the combat, enough to keep things interesting. And the story, I think, is going to be actually pretty... It's going to be my very first time playing a main story Assassin's Creed game as a female. So I'm excited to, because I for some reason I really dig the character of Cassandra. In terms of like a preemptive review score, I'd still say it's gonna be a solid like 8.5, 85 out of 100, which is still a solid game. It's not gonna be like the greatest game that comes out there. It's not gonna hit that 90 level in terms of a Metacritic score, but I think we've just been so spoiled these days with such amazing games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild that we have kind of like lost sight that 85% or 8.5 is still a really solid score as I kill some albino bears. It's still a really solid score for a video game, and I think I'll be happy with that if the game just lives up to those expectations. So once again, catching on fire is extremely easy in this game. It was always the bane of my existence in Origins. I would just like catch on fire so many times. I'm not exactly sure why I stopped here. Yeah, I can't remember. I think I might have been talking to someone at that point at the event. So what you're about to see is I'm gonna get the key that is required to open the final door to the final boss of the demo, which you probably can already guess based on the hints that the game has given you thus far what it's going to be. I think I do one base clear as well, one fortress clear. There wasn't really much difference of fortress clearing as it happened in the previous game, so I cut it short and just kind of like fast forward.
I hope it opens the Writhing Dread's lair, like they say.
So I just picked up the disc, or the key, to access the final boss of the demo. We actually hop back on my ship again. So naval combat returns in this game, as it has in previous games, and functions almost exactly the same way. Surprise, surprise. One little touch I liked right here is the fact that those dolphins are riding alongside my boat. Those small things like that always make me fairly happy to see. It brings like a little smirk to my face. And I'm a sadistic person, so I actually asked the guy, can you hunt the dolphins? I asked the developer that, and he said, no, you cannot hunt the dolphins. I was like, oh. And maybe he thought I was like some sort of crazy person. But anyways, before I tackled the final boss, I had a lot of time left. The guy said that I was like way ahead in my time slot in order to actually finish the demo, so he said that I had enough time to clear out this optional base. I did pretty much almost everything that was available in the demo from what I was told, and so I decided to do this base as well. Base clearing returns, it functions almost the exact way as it has in previous games. Kill the main targets, collect the loot, get experience for doing the clear. I think I get attacked by a mercenary who gives me a little bit of a run for my money as well, but nothing too crazy. I completely forgot what your eagle's name is in this game because it's changed for the previous game. Different timeline, obviously. And yeah, once again, literally standing beside the thing catches me on fire. Craziness. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm gonna leave you guys after we clear the space with the final boss battle, which was actually a real nail biter, and it was a treat to do. And just a humble brag, I was the only one to one-shot it that day. I did it on my very first go, which I was impressed with myself, personally myself. But anyways, it was a fairly engaging fight and well thought out in terms of its mechanics. So I'll leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay. Let me know if you have any questions below and in the comment boxes, and I will try to do my best to answer them. But I have a ton of more early Ubisoft games coming up in the next couple days, so you guys can look forward to that as well. And obviously you can look forward to my full walkthrough of the game when it releases on October 5th. I'm hoping to get early enough review code, maybe do a couple days earlier, and maybe hopefully we'll play the game on PC, but I'll take what I can get. So yeah, enjoy the rest, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, as always, have a fast day.
Have you found a way inside the lair?
Ligia's story was true. The daughters of Artemis were protecting this disc, key, this... I have what opens the lair.
Then what are you waiting for? Use the disc. Open the door.
There's no time for the mercenary. Whatever he knows, we'll find out ourselves. We're opening that door now.
You have Ligia's heart, Cassandra.
Wait!
Ligia! Ligia!
Malaka. Breeze! You have no idea what... Breeze! One myth speaks of turning victims. Ligia! Ligia? Zeus! I hate snakes. Someone, I tell you, in another time, will remember us.